Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching around the world. Welcome to Core Sports Fight Night, sponsored by Rain Body Fuel, The Beard Struggle, and Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat, which is, I think, how most of us feel in January. We will shortly be heading over to the arena in Dubai for a very special exhibition bout. But first, allow me to introduce two very familiar faces to fight fans around the world. Live from LA, former UFC heavyweight champion Bas Rutten. Welcome, Bas. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Looking great. Lovely to have you with us. And joining us from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Carl Frampton, two-weight world champion, aiming to make it three at the end of next month. Carl, real pleasure to have you. As always, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be on, boys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, same. Well, as many of you will know, we are just 9 months away from what's being billed as the heaviest boxing match in history. Britain's Eddie Hall, world's strongest man from 2017, takes on Ireland's Hafþór, Julius Björnsson, the man who took that crown the following year. The two have made no secret about their dislike for each other, and they will settle their differences September in Las Vegas. Well, in the meantime, Thor is doing all he can to be prepared. What better preparation than 3 rounds against the former European champion? Ireland, Stephen Ward, a man, Carl, you know very well. You call him Big Stevie, but he isn't going to be the big man in there tonight, is he?
No, I call him Big Stevie. I call everybody big. Everybody's bigger than me, but Stevie is dwarfed in this fight, which is a strange sight for me. I actually bumped into Thor once, and we kind of got squashed in between trying to get out of a door. He's a monster of a man. A little bit worried for Stevie, although he's the boxer in the fight, but I'm excited about this.
Ward giving away 127 pounds in body weight per the weigh-in results earlier this week. Björnsson topped the scales at 344 pounds. Bas, you met Thor and did a little bit of work with him a few months ago. As a professional heavyweight fighter, you were in with some really big guys over the years, but just put it into words. How big and how imposing is this man?
He's unbelievable. He's huge. I was looking at his calves, and I'm not kidding, this is real, are the same as my thighs. And my thighs are pretty big thighs. So if you have a guy with calves just like that, it's insanity. And then during the show, we were working together. He neck pressed a lady up. And I said, wow, that was easy. How many pounds can you do? It's all about 440 pounds. So, you know, that Steven says that it might look like Hulk Hogan versus Rocky. That might happen tonight.
Well, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, maybe. It's going to be a very interesting style matchup, this. And, Carl, everyone talks about the weight differential and how slow they expect Thor to be. But, of course, he was a man that walked around at 200 kilos, over 400 pounds for most of his career, and a low for a long time of 350. He's actually going to feel very light and probably quite sharp, and maybe surprise a few people with his agility in the ring tonight.
Yeah, I think so too, you know, because he used to be a former professional basket player, you know, and Stephen Ward already said it. He saw a movie, goes, man, he's light on his feet. So I believe the same thing. You know, he's going to work on the balls of his feet, which is something that you don't expect from a big guy like that. And if he can pull it off, in and out movement, this could be very interesting.
Well, Stephen Ward is the man in the opposite corner, and we caught up with him earlier on this week.
Stephen from Belfast. It's about all you gotta know. No, Stephen. Been boxing now for 19 years. Been professional for about four and a half. It's going well. Do you know what, mate? It's a bit mad, right? So, like, I was sitting in the house, and my management at MTK phoned me. I said, "Where are you?" I said, "In Belfast. Where else am I going to be?" And it says, "Oh, the Mountain wants to meet you." And I started laughing. I said, "The Mountain? Who's called the Mountain?" He says, "Oh, Game of Thrones." Nah, I don't watch it. I have 3 kids at home, so I don't get time to watch anything. The only time I get is 10 minutes on the toilet. That's about it. And then it says Thor. So and then I thought it was a joke. I thought, I don't know anyone. I've never heard of anyone called Thor, apart from Thor the god. But yeah, they says, listen, we want to go down to Belfast. You get to meet him. He said he was a sound fella. He was dead on. So I went down. I'm sitting at the hotel on my own, and the elevator door opens. And this lad steps out. He's that big. He like dips and he steps out sideways out of the lift. And I looked at him and I went, "Flip, you're a big lad, aren't you?" And he started laughing, but he was dead on, and we got talking, and he early on I could tell that he's a real professional athlete, because just the way he talks and he tells you the type of training he's doing. I think he's the type of man that he puts everything into everything he does, you know what I mean? Like, you can see how he done so well in the strongman, and you see how, personally, I think he's going to do well in the boxing, because he's asking me, who do you watch to be learning? How do I educate myself? And, what do you do when you do this? He's just like a big sponge, but he's a mean big sponge too. Like, I think it's good publicity. He's a massive lad. He's known all over the world, isn't he? So it's that aspect of it. It's the opportunity to be involved. With an event like this, it's massive. Why would you not want to? Boxing's taking a hard time at the minute with COVID. There's not many fights happening. It was an opportunity, and I thought, yes, I'd love to do it. I'll get my name out there, but as well, if I'm able to help the big man in any way I can, why not? I think, do you know what? It's always hard to gauge. As I say, I've met Big Thor. I've met him a few times. We've talked. Been asking him how he's getting on and training. We've got a wee bit of a relationship there. But a fighter mentality is different. You don't go into any fight to make up numbers. You don't go into any fight to be made a fool of. And it's hard to know because he's never been in this situation before. I have. I know how exhibitions and test matches usually play out. They'll go in, and the means is to help each other get exposure and experience until someone hits the other person a nice shot, and then person goes, hold on a wee minute, he hit me harder than I hit him, and then it just blows up. So it's a hard one to gauge. That's why I don't know what way it's going to go. Yeah, so my manager at MTK, I'm very lucky to have them behind me. They're getting all their fighters out when they can, as often as they can. So I'm hoping April, May, to be in a good fight, potentially, and just take any call-ups that are ready. But this is great, because it's kept me in the gym. I haven't been sitting in the house, and it's given me a reason to be there.
How do you feel about, along with Boss Roten, the legend from MMA, and Chris Lloyd from Matchroom, your best buddy, Carl Frampton, is commentating?
Do you know what? I'm more annoyed that Carl, I always call him Frampton, I'm more annoyed that Frampton is commentating. That doesn't bother me. However, the fact that he posted of him wearing a Thor apparel t-shirt and he's texting me and all saying Team Thor, what's going on? And he thinks it's funny. It's literally, at the start it was funny, but now it's really starting to do my head in.
All right. So, you ready for today then?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to get in there and get it started.
I think we can all agree that it is pretty funny. Carl, obviously you go back a long way with Stevie, but it's an unusual task that he's got ahead of him tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I'm glad he said yes to this, because I do believe that the exposure is massive for him, and I think that's it could be a lesson to all young fighters that opportunities like this aren't going to arise, but when you get the chance to put yourself in the spotlight like this, you should always take it, because you need people to know who you are, and I think a lot more people will know Stevie after this. But another thing I would like to say, and Stevie mentioned it there, the professional approach by Thor, and I like the way he's going about this. I like the fact that he's having an exhibition fight and probably another couple before the Eddie Hall fight, and he will be ready for the Eddie Hall fight. But I keep saying it. I'm harping on a wee bit. I am nervous for Stevie. He's given away a lot of weight, although he is the boxer in this fight. But Thor is Thor, and he's a monster of a man.
My name is Hafþór Björnsson. I'm 32 years old, live in Iceland, Reykjavik, and I was a professional strongman, and now I'm competing in boxing as amateur. I want to get the experience in. I want to get the ring experience. The adrenaline rush that you get before competing, I'm looking for that, and I want to be able to analyze my mistakes in a fight, get the pressure before walking into the ring. All those emotions I want to feel before September. So I want to do this a few times, hopefully 3 times if I can. So I'll be ready in September. I'd rather get beat here than in September. In September, I'm gonna knock someone out. Yeah, I mean, Steven is I like Steven. He's a cool guy, a tough guy. This is exhibition match, but I want to learn from this. I want him to go all in. I want this to be a good boxing match. I wanna learn from this. I want to get better from this. I don't want this to become easy, and even though it's an exhibition match, we are still gonna show our skills and go at it. It's definitely more exciting. It's gonna help me in the long run. It's gonna You know, having the crowd there, knowing that there are thousands, millions, hopefully, people watching is gonna be, you know, it's gonna give me the extra experience that I need going into the big fight in September.
And what about all the negative comments? Like when people say, Thor's not a boxer, he's too slow, does that ever bother you now that it's gonna be on such a big platform? There's gonna be millions of comments about this is bad, this is good, but how do you deal with the negative comments, the haters?
It doesn't bother me, you know. In the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what kind of work I put into this. I've been training boxing for 6 months now. I know that I'm no professional, but I have one goal, and that's to knock a guy out in September. And I'm training for that. What people say, it doesn't bother me, you know. It's all fine, all good. People are always gonna talk shit no matter what, especially when you have an athlete that used to be the best in his sport. You know, I was the best strongman out there. They're gonna expect a lot of things from you. But they have to realize that this is a new sport. I've never done this before. But still, when you have a fan base, have fans, they expect a lot from you. I feel I'm as ready as I can be. You know, I feel confident in my ability. In training, we were doing 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds of sparring. So with Steve, it's going to be 3 rounds. And I feel confident going into that. I feel like my shape is good enough for that. Obviously, Stevie, I've never sparred with him before, I never fought with him before. So he might have, you know, a different tempo, he might box differently, he might press me more. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it, you know, goes. I feel good about it. I know what I can do, I know what I have learned, you know. And we'll just wait and see what's gonna happen.
I never lose, I always win. I pay my dues, so let's begin. Write it down now. Look, old boy got the crown now. I'm gonna sing, picking it up, switching the flow. Oh, what a pity, you know what a shame. Yo, what a winner, you should have came. I just be repping my city in vain. Keep it up and I'm willing to train. I just be ripping and flowing insane. Yo, just be dripping a flood of the rain. I just be whipping you, living in pain. Keep it up and it go to your brain. Do be switching, no competitions in the vision. Listen, movie tripping. I'm looking shit, my inner brain be ripping. Movie tripping. I'm not the one to play with, stop the dissing. Cool, so listen, let's keep it simple. Listen, I've been driven.
Here is the stronghold. It will be heavily guarded. Of course it is. It's the most valuable thing in the world. We will send 12 Viking ships through the landing and raid, pillage, until we make it there. No survivors! Yeah! We are in the hands of Odin! Yeah!
So are you guys doing all of this just for some beard oil?
Yeah.
We are a community dedicated to those who love fitness and food.
We have a mission to show that you can pursue your personal fitness goals and enjoy the process.
We are committed to creating a community where you can be and should be proud of your body.
No matter what stage of the fitness journey you are on.
From fat to fit.
Hit them PRs, make them gains, and eat that donut.
Join the brand, join the message, join the movement.
Social distance. We've had thumbs up from the Dubai authorities for the behaviour of everyone.
Well, welcome back to Core Sports Fight Night in Dubai, sponsored by Rain Body Fuel, the beard struggle and kind of fit, kind of fat. The first of a number of exhibition bouts Thor will compete in ahead of his September clash with Britain's Eddie Hall. The man in the opposite corner is Stephen Ward, former European champion, now professional cruiserweight, weighed in 98.6 kilos, 217 pounds, which, Carl, is a luxury for the big man.
Yeah, it is. He's just moved up from light heavyweight to cruiserweight, but he's actually over the cruiserweight limit here. So it's probably something, feels a little bit alien to be able to eat before weigh-ins and stuff, but he can do what he wants when he's got a man across the ring who's 130 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah, he's about your body weight heavier, but he's also lost the equivalent of your body weight in just under 6 months, Baz. That's quite a transformation.
Yeah, and it's something that he really needed to do. I think it's a very smart thing to do. And also these fights, coming back on his interview, the fact that he's doing this, because you as well as I do, Carl, being a good fighter in the gym doesn't mean that you can do it under pressure. I know guys who work circles around current world champions, but they can't perform it when they do it themselves. So for him to get these vibes in, I think it's very smart.
Well, the man who will be introducing the fighters is ready and waiting in the ring. Hand you over to our MC now, Mr. Tom Urquhart.
Dubai, are you ready for one more? I cannot wait for this one. It is the quiet man against the man mountain. It is a battle of the Northerners. It is one man who's been there, done that, against one man stepping into the ring for the very first time. First up, though, an absolute privilege to welcome to Dubai, with a record of 13-1-0, the former WBO European light heavyweight champion of the world, standing at 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighing in at 98.6 kg. This cruiserweight is a man who has achieved everything in the game. He comes up against an extraordinary opponent. He is the pride of Belfast, Northern Ireland. Make some noise for Stephen, the Quiet Man, Ward!
The Quiet Man, Stephen Ward, is his nickname, but he's one of the nicest guys in the game, as you heard there. Former European light heavyweight champion, 13-1. Just that one career defeat came by way of the excellent Richard Bolotniks in his last fight at 175 pounds. I think, Carl, that was an opportunity he couldn't really afford to turn down, but ultimately he was really starting to struggle with the weight at that point. So much fresher, so much fuller as a professional cruiserweight now, and this is the point in his career that I know you believe we'll see the best of Big Stevie Ward.
Yeah, I believe so. I think he grew out of light heavyweight a long time ago, and the opportunity to fight in the Golden Contract with MTK was there. He had to take it, although he was just absolutely killing himself to make 175. It was insane. But cruiserweight suits him, I think, and I think this is going to bring out the best in him.
And his opponent for this final fight of the night, brought to you by the Core Sports Sport Night. Our big thanks to Rain, Total Body Fuel, The Beard Struggle, Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat, MTK Global, Bergil Hospital, and our friends at McGettigans. Ladies, gentlemen, for the first time making his debut in the ring, the Titan weight has arrived. The world's ultimate strongman, 2018. The world's strongest man, 2018. A 3-time Arnold Strongman Classic winner. Standing at a colossal 6 foot and 9 inches. Weighing in at the Titan weight of 156.2 kg. The pride of Iceland here in Dubai, Hafþór Björnsson!
I made the devil run. I gave him poison just for fun. I had one friend.
Well, a star in the world of strongman, Björnsson was top of the podium in 2018, having finished runner-up on 3 occasions and 3rd place on 3 occasions, on the podium for 9 straight years. The big Icelander turned his attention in 2020 to breaking Eddie Hall's deadlift world record in the summer, and he did so pulling a massive 501 kilos, over 1,100 pounds off the floor, taking the record set by the man he'll face in the boxing ring in September. He's been diligent in his preparation so far. Tonight it will be, of course, a crucial part of it, because Baz, as much as sparring can teach you, nothing will learn you the hard lessons like going into a big fight itself.
Exactly, and him being a professional athlete, he knows this. He will have a problem probably in the beginning with strongman, and now he's going to find out if he has it here. But I don't think so. Once you are familiar with competing in front of an audience and a lot of people, I think he's going to do just fine.
And Carl, we know that Stevie will be sticking and moving early on. That seems to be the sensible solution to it, because Hafþór, of course, is southpaw, so Ward might find a little bit of joy with the right hand, but he can't afford to hold his feet too early on in this one.
I completely agree. I think the objective, certainly anyway, in the first round is to not get hit and try not to get hit as much as possible. I think they try to judge his distance, because Thor's a monster of a man. And although this is his first fight, so he's a novice in comparison to Stevie. Sometimes it's difficult to fight novices when the novice doesn't know what he's doing himself, so it's hard for the fighter to defend against someone who doesn't know what he's doing. So Stevie just needs to be careful and eyes wide open.
Another blue corner on this occasion with the black shorts and the white boots. It is from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Stephen the Quiet Man Ward. And his opponent out of the red corner, making his debut in the ring. Fighting under the flag of Iceland, wearing the Icelandic colours, Hafþór Björnsson. Three-minute rounds coming your way in this exhibition bout. Referee from the World Boxing Council. We'll call him in a few moments' time. 9 minutes of this extraordinary fight. Right here in Dubai. A first for us all. It's the Quiet Man against the Man Mountain. Let's listen in one final time.
Okay, gentlemen, this is the main event of the night, okay? Make sure you keep it clean. Keep your punches up. Anywhere from up here is good. Watch the back of the head. No rabbit punches. Touch them up. Keep it clean. Good luck.
Good luck, says referee Shaz. It's good luck all round. Dubai, make some noise. It's Northern Ireland against Iceland. It is Hafþór against Ward.
So Tom Urquhart getting us underway there, and Hafþór Björnsson's first experience in a professional boxing ring, operating in the southpaw stance. Massive size difference between the two of them. Stevie Ward starts nice and relaxed, just feinting his way into range. I think the feint could be potentially a useful tool for him over the next 3 rounds, Carl, because it's likely that with his inexperience, Björnsson will overreact to those kind of feints as Ward just drives a nice right hand into the body.
Yeah, I kind of give that message of instruction to him before going into this fight, that just to keep him busy with your feints, because I think it would upset someone who's just getting into this game. But Stevie's doing well here so far. I like the feints, but Thor, he looks more agile than I initially thought he was going to look.
Yes, lots of lateral movement. He said he has had a few knee problems, just jumping in and out of range, something he's not used to, and of course pivoting into space. And when you are pivoting with over 400 pounds through those knee joints, it is going to take its toll. But he started okay. Important for him to stay relaxed here, Bas, as well.
Yeah, I think he's doing great. Normally, when you see somebody fight for the very first time, they just go all out because they don't know about control yet. But what he's doing, moving backwards, that was a very smart thing to do. Staying outside the reach, of course, of his opponent. And like Carl said, his in and out movement is pretty fast. And also, he already cut an angle, I saw, which is something you never see from a guy who fights his first fight.
Yeah, just trying to make that space small for Stephen Ward, who's just been trying to step in under that southpaw jab. Not a bad start from the big man at all. Ward just dropping off the line, just looking for a left into the body. Pushing Thor back into the corner.
Yeah.
Not something we thought we'd see, but of course, if they do get caught up in the clinch, his best bet surely is just to try and relax in there. There's not a great deal of joy to be gained.
There is no point in trying to fight back with this man when you're holding on the inside. If he wants to hold on to you, let him hold on, let him throw you around, because you're just wasting energy trying to fight him back.
Exactly.
You see Ward's just sliding in and out of range and just taking those feet back with him when Björnsson does commit. Just wonder whether he's just trying to set some traps for some pull counters.
Wow. That's nice there.
Nice exit.
Left, right, straight. Ooh.
And the two exchange blows. And Thor's holding the shots well so far.
Yeah, and Stevie's being a bit braver than I'd like him to be.
I think he wanted to prove a point to you, Carl.
I think so. But this is good from Thor. I think he's adjusted a little bit. At the first half of the round, he threw some wild shots and he missed pretty widely. But he's starting to punch a little bit straighter now and look a little bit neater.
You know, I had the pleasure of working out with him a little bit. And, you know, in the beginning, I saw him pushing. And I say, you're pushing instead of punching. And on the dot, he started striking and pulling his punches. So he listens well to instructionists.
Huge men. Go toe to toe.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that first round. So Ward just feinting with a jab, stepping in and driving that right hand into the body behind him. Competitive opening round though, and certainly Thor can take a lot of positives from this, Carl.
Yeah, I think he can. I think that he's looking good for, again, a relative novice in this game. I think he's going the right way about it. And like I said, it was really important that he adjusted the first half of the fight when he missed widely. He started to punch straight, and it's almost like Baz says, he's someone he's learning on the job here, and he's shown that in that round.
A man who's fought at the very top of the game.
And Stevie can take a hit. I mean, he connected with the left hand there in the fight, and he didn't even flinch.
But I think, Carl, you'll be with me on this, that Stevie's punch resistance going at light heavyweight wasn't an indication of anything other than he was just extremely weight trained at 175 to a point that he needed to move up. He's looked much better since he's come up to cruiserweight.
Yeah, of course he has. He literally had no punch resistance at 175, and that is the issue with making weight. But up at cruiserweight now, Stevie seems to be able to take a shot, which obviously I'm delighted about. He just took one from Big Thor, like Baz said there, so I think his chin's okay.
Again, just dropping in and setting up that right hand to the body. Björnsson cutting off the ring pretty well.
Yeah, Björnsson just needs to hold back on the power a little bit because it's too big of a swing. And if he realizes that he only needs 50% of his power, he still will be hitting really freaking hard. So, and he will be much faster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if he focuses on speed, like Baz said, it's the power lands there. If he's punching with 50% intensity, it's still going to hurt because he's such a big guy. So I think speed should be his main focus from here and going forward.
Great movement again, moving backwards, almost like a check right hook. That's something also you don't see a lot. I'm pretty impressed with his distance also to keep the same space in between. Oh, look at that.
Whoa, just clipped over the top there, Stephen Ward. Let's have a look at that.
Cross hook.
Big left hand and then just...
Oh, there's a shoulder blade.
I think on the back, but it tells you all about the force of it, that it sent Big Stevie toppling over.
Yeah, just pure force there. Knocked him over with a punch on the shoulder. So it shows you how strong he is.
And Ward just on his bike now, just using that jab as a rangefinder. Just inching his way in, feinting well, just feinting the big man into the corner. It's good work. That's lead right hand there, and then just ties him up.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody, since it's an open stance, an orthodox and a southpaw, to counter the jab with a cross. You know, both guys can do that. And if that happens, coming from Thor, of course, that's dangerous, but still from Steven as well. Look at that.
Again, just Thor commits in those straight lines. Ward just moves back to take the sting out of shots. That's what he knew he had to do. He'll be becoming a little bit more relaxed as the fight goes on, Carl. Big Steve, he'll understand what's in front of him now in terms of the power and the pace, and he'll feel a little bit more comfortable to go to work.
I think the important round was the first round. It's always a feeling out round just to find out what your opponent's got. And what I do like about Thor here is he falls in sometimes, but when he's moving backwards, his distance is actually pretty good, and he can take a step back and make Stevie fall short. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from both guys.
Ward just stepping around to his right hand side. Again, just measuring with that lead hand.
Oof. Yeah, he felt that shoulder blade punch. And he goes, I don't want to get hit with that thing.
You talk about as well landing the straight right hand to the body of a southpaw a lot, but you're hitting, you know, just thick muscle there. I don't know if it's having too much of an effect on the big lad here, but I suppose it's a decent shot just to keep him at bay.
Yeah, and I think when you start doing it later in the fight, you know, when they start breathing, they can't control the breathing anymore. If you connect on the breathing in part, well, he can do 5,000 sit-ups a day. You're going down. So
round two in the books, just 3 minutes left to go between Hafþór Björnsson and the man on your screen there, Stephen Ward. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from that second
We
round.
are in a proper fight.
There's the shoulder punch.
Hafþór here.
That's crazy.
Well, we know he can punch then, that's for sure, but Ward landed a couple of nice straight right hands in that round too, just selling him the feints to the body, mixing up those levels and then coming upstairs with it. But Björnsson fought back when he was caught.
Yep. I love what Stephen is doing, setting up with body shots, because you know suddenly he's going to switch it to a headshot.
Yeah, the feints are really important for Stephen, I think.
This is where today and those subsequent exhibition matches for Thor this year are going to be so important. It's less about finding out what he's good at, it's about what he needs to work on, and I guess that's where Stevie can be of great help to him here.
Yeah, and also being a southpaw, from what I understand, an orthodox fighter, and Hall is the same. Or is Hall a southpaw?
3 minutes to buy.
I think Hall is an orthodox fighter as well.
Oh, so perfect.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
I'm saying orthodox fighter as if he is a fighter, but he will be soon.
he's an orthodox strongman in boxing gloves.
Yeah.
But,
nice jab there from Ward.
Yeah,
he starts finding his reach.
Yeah, seems more comfortable with the range now. Björnsson just trying to use that jab hand as a kind of as a guard device, just to keep the jabbing hand of Stephen Ward occupied. And he's just trying to come around the side of it, isn't he? Step off to his left-hand side.
Nice one.
I think that's something Thor can work on from now until the fight with Eddie Hall. Is about moving forward and bringing his feet with him rather than falling in, because sometimes he misses there. But again, this is all a learning experience for him.
Yeah, and then there was a little bit of blood from the nose of the Icelander, just evidence of some shots that got through, but he caught Ward with straight left hand that time.
And again, Thor moving backwards the whole time. Those swings, you know, he will know in the next fight to tone those down a little bit. He doesn't need to be that open. And not because they can hit him in between, that also, of course, but especially because they can see it coming.
I'm impressed with Thor's lungs here. He's obviously a big guy, but he's thrown back here, and 3 rounds doesn't sound like much to the average man, but 3 3-minute rounds is tough to do when you've never been in this sport before, and he seems to have plenty left here.
Yeah, and he hasn't lost too much in his shape either. He seems to kind of still have a reasonable amount of balance. His legs certainly have slowed a little bit, but that's to be expected here, because Ward is setting a reasonably good pace, and he's quick, he's on the move, he's forced Thor to move, probably more than Eddie Hall would in truth.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, a little bit of caginess, right hand counter there from Stephen Ward. Just made Björnsson fall short. I think he's hurt the big man there, just pushing him back onto the ropes, working away to the body, and thought, well, this is where he needs to just learn to hold on and just spoil. And as I say that, maybe he heard me, but he has done so. He might
connected with some great body shots. So
that was a nice counter from Ward. Good finish to this third round from him. Björnsson's head seems clear. Just steps in again and counter. Just didn't judge the distance quite right there, did he? And just got caught in no man's land after he missed that left hand.
He's got to throw more straights, you know, to throw a jab and then a hook. And a hook sets you up for the counter, you know. Maybe it's better to throw a 1-2. Oh, again.
Well, another big right hand from Stevie Ward. And Björnsson again pushed back onto the ropes. He's eaten 2 or 3 clean right hands in the final minute and a half of this third round. But he's passed the chin check early.
Yeah, he's proved he can take a shot, and fair play to him. He had 2 or 3 big right hands in that round, and he's done okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
a blood on the face. The final bell goes. Lots of respect, as there has been throughout the build-up, and no doubt, Carl, this has been a terrific learning experience for Björnsson, and I think he could do far worse than invite Stevie over to Iceland and maybe help him to continue his apprenticeship this year.
Absolutely. I think that's a conversation that the guys have already had. Stevie is a good guy, and I think he would like to help Thor. I think that's something that will benefit Thor. But considering this is the big guy's first fight, I think they should be pretty pleased with how that went. If I was in Team Thor anyway, I certainly would be pleased with how that went. And Stevie obviously doing what he done, moving away and landing a few shots in the last round. I think he should be happy with his performance too.
I always win. I pay my dues, so let's begin. Write it down now. Look, old boy got the crown now. I'm gonna sing, picking it up, switching the flow. Oh, what a pity, you know what a shame. Yo, what a winner, you should have just came. I just be repping my city in vain. Keep it up and I'm willing to train. I just be ripping and flowing insane. Yo, just be dripping a puddle of rain. I just be whipping you, living in pain. Keep it up and it go to your brain. Do be switching, no competitions in the vision. Listen, movie tripping. I'm looking shit, my inner brain be ripping. Movie tripping. I'm not the one to play with, stop the dissing. Cool, so listen, let's keep it simple. Listen, I've been driven.
Here is the stronghold. It will be heavily guarded. Of course it is. It's the most valuable thing in the world. We will send 12 Viking ships through the landing and raid, pillage, until we make it there. No survivors! Yeah! We are in the hands of Odin! Yeah!
So are you guys doing all of this just for some beer oil?
Yeah.
So welcome back to Core Sports Fight Night in Dubai, sponsored by Rain Body Fuel, the Beard Struggle, and Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat. The first 3 rounds in the bank for the big man. Hafþór, Julius Björnsson against Ireland, Stephen Ward. Some good shots landed and some experience gained ahead of his fight with Eddie Hall. Let's bring the fighters together now with the referee.
Put your hands together for the big man, Thor. Ladies and gentlemen, one final time, put your hands together for the feature fight of the night. Stephen Ward and Hafþór Björnsson.
So no winners, no losers in that, and of course the experience gained can never be lost for Big Thor. Lots of words exchanged and pleasantries. I'm sure a great experience for Stevie as well. He would have appreciated being involved in this.
The ring. Stevie, let's go a quick word with you first. Camera's over there. So first and foremost, you've been in the ring with some big guys. You've been in the ring with some extraordinary boxers during your time. That's his first time in the ring. Your thoughts?
Oh, I thought he looked great. I thought he was... I've never seen a big man that size move so well. And I got a bit careless and he hit me a shot, shook me to my boots like so. I got on my bike and started running.
In terms of the night, in terms of the experience, nice to be back in front of a crowd?
Yeah, amazing to be back. And everywhere where you go, you always get people from home. I see a few friends and stuff in the crowd, which is great. Well, thanks very much to everyone that came out.
Really appreciate you. 2021, obviously, bit of uncertainty, but looking forward to what's ahead.
Yeah, with my management at MTK Global, they're getting every boxer the opportunity they can get. So I just have to rely on them.
Stephen, an absolute gent. Thank you so much indeed for being with us. Ladies and gents, the quiet man. And Hafþór, let's get a quick word with you for the crowd. After all the training, after all the experiences, you get into the ring for the first time, you get punched in the face for the first time. How does it feel?
Feels great. I love this. I just want to firstly thank you guys. Thank Don for making this happen, and also thank Steve. You know, that guy is unbelievable. What a heart he has. I doubt that many people would want to step into a ring with a guy that weighs like almost half more than he does. But he has the biggest heart ever, you know. And to be willing to come here, do this exhibition with me means a lot. I need this. I need the experience. Steven is the same height as my opponent that I'm going to fight in September. And he's right-handed as well. He's quick, he's powerful. This was great, and I cannot wait to get back home, back training to get better. I've been training boxing now for a bit over 6 months. And I love this sport. I have a huge respect for the sport. Huge respect for the athletes and anyone involved. This sport is great, and I know how much hard work you have to put into to become less like me decent, you know. I had to put in so much work. I trained so much, and but this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Thank you so much, guys.
Quick word, if we can, Hafþór. A quick word, Hafþór, if we may, just because we know that Eddie was watching. You reference Eddie, who is watching on with interest at the moment. This is ahead of the big fight, the world's heaviest fight in Las Vegas later on this year. I know he's watching at the moment. Got a message from Mr. Hall?
You know, Eddie, you just have to train, man. I'm taking this seriously. I've seen your training sessions, and you're this handsome guy, this poor guy that you're just punching, and he's not allowed to punch you back. If you want to beat me, you have to at least spar and get punched. If you're not taking this seriously, I'm going to knock you out first round, man. So take this seriously, start training as like you're saying you're training hard and that, you know. You're probably in a good shape, but bro, what I've seen doesn't look good. I know I've been getting hate as well. That's fine. I can get it. That's fine. I know I'm a huge guy. I'm not going to be the fastest guy. But when I started this journey, I want to get the technique first. I wasn't thinking about the speed. I want to get the technique first and then focus on speed and everything else. I'm working on my endurance. The fight against Eddie is going to be 6 rounds. I promise you, I will be in absolutely the best shape of my life September this year. And I'm going to knock him out. Let's go.
We will watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a true gent. To you, Hafþór, and all your team in your corner, thank you so much indeed for being with us here in Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, one final time, put your hands together for these two true champions, Stevie Ward and Hafþór Björnsson.
Well, very interesting to hear Hafþór's comments there. And Baz, you know, I think a lot of people may just assume that some of these strongmen are kind of mindless lifting machines, but actually he's a dedicated athlete. He understands the value of technique and the progression that gave him in his strongman career. He understands the thousands of hours that go into painstaking drills, and just that mindset is so crucial when it comes to any kind of combat sport. And the fact that he has that and he understands that, presumably he's going to stand him in pretty good stead over the next 8 or 9 months.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think this was really good for him. I have a feeling that Eddie Hall maybe should do something like this as well, so he can see. I watched the transformation of Eddie Hall. He's also looking incredible. If you see the before and after pictures, it's like, wow, now he's got abs. Before he was like this big guy. So he's taking it serious as well, and that's going to make for a good fight. 6 rounds or 3 minutes, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but for guys like that, that's a lot. And you know there's going to be a lot of anger. It's not going to be as relaxed as this one, you know, so the movement backwards, I hope he can keep it just like he was doing here.
Yeah, he was shifting his weight very, very well, Carl. And we're just talking about the difference between Thor and Eddie's training. Eddie hasn't really been doing any head sparring, really taking any shots. And I mean, it is a crucial part of preparing for a fight, isn't it? That you get used to the feeling of taking shots. Eddie said, look, it's a sport of hitting and not getting hit, and that's all very well. But when he's in the ring with Thor, at some point, he is going to get hit. And if he hasn't been used to that, it could be a shock for him. Of course,
He needs to know what it's like to get punched in the face, punched in the body. And I don't know if that's the right approach by him. I think that, in my opinion, I think that Thor is having the right approach. He's sparring. He's doing a lot of cardio work to get his lungs ready for the 6 rounds. He will have another few exhibitions where he's in these sort of pressurized situations. If Eddie Hall isn't doing that and isn't preparing the way he should be, he potentially could be in for a shock on the night.
Well, we've got a great build-up over the next 9 months. Thor will be in a number of exhibition bouts to hone his craft, and I'm sure Eddie Hall will have a close eye on all of them. Baz, Carl, it has been an absolute pleasure to call this one with you. Look forward to being back for more. Take care and have a good 2021. And thank you at home for watching as well. This Core Sports World exhibition bout between Hafþór Björnsson and Stephen Ward. Chris Lloyd here with Bas Rutten and Carl Frampton. Sponsored by Rain, Total Body Fuel, The Beard Struggle, and Kinda Fit, Kinda Fat. From Dubai, take care everybody, and we'll see you again very soon.